Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. They wouldn't let me do this mobily. Let's see what happens now. Now, they trying their best to hold me down. I tell you that. It ain't from a lack of trying. This is just one of those days I'm just like, my goodness. Today is not that day. Let me be today. Shouts out. Nah, I don't think they'll have them get swept. Well, this is about Jaguar Wright because you guys kept asking me about it. Like, man, you got to talk about Jaguar Wright, man. And I keep getting sent this stuff. So we're going to make a video in the Patreon. It's going to be way uncut and we can talk about it because I already know we can't talk about it here because look at what they're doing now. Spam after spam after spam. So. Now let's at least speak on it since we're here, right? For those that did get the notification. Don't know if it's going to be a video or a article yet, but it will be heavy. Because we already told you we got some stuff coming on October the 1st. When the 1st hits, look out. A lot of stuff happening. A lot of eye-catching stuff that's happening. Now, let's get into this. Jaguar Wright comes on the scene and shocks the world when she started opening up talking about Diddy. Before that, I heard the Mary J. Blige thing, and she made a whole bunch of claims. She talked about everything and everybody. And it's like she's trying to have her own, I don't know, her social media run. I don't know what is it that she's trying to accomplish by doing all this, because she could have did this last year. Now, I don't look at someone, a lot of people say a lot of things for shock value. It doesn't mean everything is true. Of course you believe her because she makes a lot of true statements, but some of it is reaching and some of it she's talking way up out of her depth. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of it she's talking out of her depth. Now, the thing about Diddy, I'm not going to say her friend didn't tell her that. That situation might have happened just the way she said it. But there's other situations in which, like she said, I can tell by looking at somebody that they've been touched and something happened to Summer. She been touched. I know the look in somebody's face. That was her evidence to say Summer had been attacked, or she put that out there. So now people are assuming because she's saying it, because she was speaking so in depth about something else that when she made a comment about something she knew nothing about, y'all just believed it anyway and took it at face value. That y'all don't even know, she don't even know something like that. But to even say something like that about somebody you don't know like that, and to put that kind of thing in your evidence is because you can look in somebody's eyes and you can tell. That's just wrong. And as a singer, Summer is so right. Summer is absolutely correct. As a singer and what she does, she's very good at what she do, but her being a superstar, I don't see that in her. Jaguar, excellent singer, excellent vocalist. Does she have what it takes to be a star? I don't know. Did she get blackballed by Mary J? Hell yes. Everything she said that happened at MCA definitely happened at MCA. Everything she just stated about her and her career and what happened with Mary J. Blige blocking and taking all the budget money, she didn't want that album promoted and all that stuff. That's true. But what you don't know is the stuff she's omitting. The things that she is omitting from her. What is she omitting? You want to know? Did y'all see what she was omitting? About herself. She claims, I'm going to blow myself up. I don't even care. Did she talk about she was an alcoholic and a pothead? I don't think so. She was drunk a lot. She was high all the time. And if she did, she did. And she slept with a lot of people too. She messed with a lot of dudes. So it's a lot of people who didn't take her seriously. She had an attitude problem. A lot of people say she's just being boisterous, but she was a hater. Just like you see now on a lot of stuff, she was back then considered to be a hater. She was very opinionated. She opened her mouth a lot and spoke a lot when she should have been quiet. So a lot of the people who were involved in these rooms, it cost her a lot of positions because of it, because they didn't like her personality. She upset and rubbed the wrong people in the industry the wrong way with her attitude of thinking she's better than everybody else. Now she could challenge all this. I mean, look, I'll take the Pepsi challenge. Because the people have already been telling me that worked with her. Like, dude, I worked with her. You need to go live and say this and this and this. And I can tell you this is what happened when this worked here, blah, 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 blah. I really didn't. Jaguar Wright she can blow. She is a lyricist. Like her vocal, to see her do Song Cry with Jay, it's incredible. She broke it, man. She's probably bitter at what happened in her career. From what I was told, and it's probably wrong, They wanted to promote one song. She pushed the label to, now this is the record, and we gonna do it this way, and this is how I want it to go. And like she was the next big superstar in the world. And they were like, whoa, that's way wrong. Jaguar's super talented. It's not about talent. It's a lot of talented people not at the top. It's like Alicia Keys. She's right. Alicia Keys is not an outstanding singer. She's not an outstanding piano player. What Alicia Keys is the image. Her face is safe. It's welcoming. It's inviting. Her personality. That's what they want to sell. It's a brand thing. Then you got Jaguar, who's drinking and high all the time. So that was your case? You wanted to promote that or Alicia Keys? She alluded at one point that Angie Stone was forgotten about because of Alicia Keys. They focused on Alicia, so they forgot about Angie Stone. Like, who forgot about Angie Stone? Angie Stone had her own core group that followed Angie all the way through. Angie wasn't no super duper star. Angie Stone came in the game late. Okay? Like she blew up late in her career. So by the time she was making these records, she was in her 30s and 40s, and people never knew it. She was making all them records back then. She's consistently made music all these years and was always put in concerts and shows. She wasn't forgotten about. But Alicia Keys was a mega superstar. She was a young superstar. Angie was an older woman with a family. They're two different type of music altogether. They're not the same. Nobody forgot about Angie Stone. But the way she said it made you think that happened. And it was Alicia Keys up to no good and doing all the backstabbings. And Alicia wasn't even moving like that because she wasn't even somebody that was sought after. She landed in his lap. You got to remember, other people turned Alicia Keys down before Alicia Keys came and landed in her lap. Don't forget to hit the like button, people. They're not going to send out notifications today, so you got to do what you got to do. Yes, she had writing ability, writing credits. So a lot of people that could write and a lot of people that couldn't write. Now let's get to Mary J. Blige, right? Mary J. Blige did a lot of things in her career that she's not proud of, but everybody know that about Mary. But when she said Mary was with other women, I never saw that. So I can't say it's true. I can't say it's false. But everything else she said about Mary is about 100% accurate. 100% accurate, except for that. That might have been a reach. Oh, thank you, RJ Renee. But we're going to do this on the Patreon, and we're going to fill in a lot of extra blanks because, like I said, this is the PG-13 version of this video. I might do another video, just separate video, just you're going to know a lot more than what you know. It's a lot of blanks that we're just not touching. And Jaguar dated a couple of people too. From white guys to black guys, it didn't matter. Now, Is Jaguar hurt? Of course she's probably hurt. But not one time did she mention anything bad about Jay. Did she? Because Jay was the one that gave her the shot and wanted to work with her, and other people in between, she felt sabotaged that situation between her and Jay. Appreciate that, RJ. It's a relationship business. And she didn't fit in that circle, and she knew she didn't fit in the circle. And it's fine not to fit in the circle, but don't just start bashing other people who in it. Like everybody in there, oh, she can't even sing. She can't do that. Nah, 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 nah. She's turning into an Aretha Franklin, but Aretha was Aretha. You know, she has the voice and the talent. But if you listen to her album, it wasn't like her album was Illmatic or Whitney. Then they tried to insinuate with Clive that Clive did something dirty on the record, on her record deal, and all trying to say Clive did some dirty stuff to Whitney and all that, and like putting Clive ain't had nothing to do with Whitney's demise. Clive had tried to save that woman countless times. Y'all have no idea what all Clive have done to try to save Whitney. Clive put her in rehabs. He sent therapists over to her to try to make sure she was good. It's other people who were trying to work around Clive's people. He the one put out a greatest hits album when she was too messed up to do anything. Clive put out a Whitney Houston greatest hits album and just had her take the picture. It's like all you got to do is take the picture on the photo, putting up all the plaques and albums and all that. That cover album, he did that for her and paid her an album budget. She got paid a whole album budget for a greatest hits album. What's up, King Wayne? I know I'm not from Philly. Y'all talk like that. Y'all talk 100 miles an hour. I don't. We from the Midwest, bro. That's how we talk. You know, yo, I ain't gonna hold you, son. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you, but she good out here, son. You know, understand, Scrap. I'm glad she good. This is not a diss. This is not a diss video to Jaguar. Not at all. I'm not saying she ain't good. I'm just saying she did a lot of dirty things in the past, and she throwing salt on a lot of people's name out of what? Jealousy. A lot of it is jealousy and hate. Hit the like button, good people. That's that bitterness that they don't even see what they doing is wrong. Andrew Wilkins, let me answer your question. Clive just had terrible luck with many artists that dealt with him that had tragic lives. A lot of people in the music business had tragic lives. They all have vices because it's just like working at a job and you got deadlines to meet and the pressure of being successful. Plus, you want to stay on top. Plus, you want to party all the time. People take shortcuts and they do things. You're seeing that now. That ain't got nothing to do with Clive. That's got something to do with the person and the people they're surrounding with. And then those people that weasel in and get close to you start offering you things. Mac Miller, Demi Lovato. There's a lot of them. A lot more of them. I mean, you gonna just throw that on Clive? Whitney Houston was his golden egg. He was trying to protect that as much as possible. Oh yeah, when this video pop up on the Patreon, oh yeah, it's definitely VIP. But when we do it on the Patreon, you're gonna probably know a lot that's not gonna be said here. Oh, if you're a writer, it's fine. You see, writers and producers are the ones that get the money. They the ones that get paid. It's the artist that gets screwed because the artist can only perform. They only get a portion of it. Like Foxy Brown, Mary J. Blige, they're not gonna get any money. When their career's over, they be getting pennies on the dollar. They royalty checks ain't gonna be nothing. They didn't write the records. They didn't produce the records. When you producing and writing, that's where your money's coming in at down the road. Von Proctor, she was as freaky as you can imagine. Jaguar Wright was definitely freaky, more freakier than the people you talking about. Don't get fooled. Look, we're gonna talk about this on the Patreon, but she was a dominatrix also. Like I said, when the Patreon, it's gonna be an uncut version on the Patreon. I mean, you got to understand, these are celebrities, and this is her out of the game. If Mary J really responds to her, you know what that does for Jaguar Wright? Who that does something for, Mary or Jaguar? She says she's a dominatrix. I mean, I just answered Von's question when he was saying she wasn't into all that freaky stuff like they was freaky back in the day. She was freaky too, dog. Listen, wait. You gotta listen. She said, I'm gonna blow myself up. When somebody say they gonna blow themselves up, they don't care, they're gonna blow themselves up too. That means they done something too. And whenever somebody say, I'm gonna blow myself up too, and that rant, you know what time it is. Don't forget to subscribe to this page. If you're new here and just got here for the first time, subscribe right now. Hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss these videos. I swear you don't. Oh, but there's a lot she didn't say. And it's a lot she said that was like grabbing at straws and making accusations about things she didn't even know about. Like she should have never said that about Summer. I could tell that girl been touched by just looking at her eyes. I can just tell when a girl been touched. Now, Summer's out there right now going through a breakup again. She's just in her own world, in her own space, and she's, suffers from anxiety. And I know people who suffer from anxiety. This is going to add more anxiety because people are going to make all these accusations now. Oh my gosh, she was attacked. Summer says she knew it. I mean, Jaguar says she knew. And I'm like, she said she knew by looking at her eyes. She don't even know her. But if you're on the Patreon, you already going to get the alert. It's going to be on the Patreon. You'll see it. It should be up there today or on the 1st. Whenever midnight hit, we do the uncut version. And I was going to do an article, but forget it. It'll be a video. I'm not saying when it happened or when. I'm just saying just doing that period just shows you, it defines the character of the person and the motivation of why would they do that in the first place? Why would you say something like that? And then that tells me, what else have you been saying that's been like that? You see what I'm saying? If she's going to say that about somebody she barely knows, what else is she saying that's kind of off, mixed in with the truth? You got to be careful when people are like trending and blowing up. It goes to people's heads. And then they start taking things that they hear and imagine, and they get caught in all these like superstitions and, oh my gosh, this is secret society stuff. And and then they just start spewing stuff. And then you guys are already drunk the Kool-Aid, so you on for the whole ride. She's exposing the industry. I'll be like, what did she tell you that you probably didn't know? I've learned nothing really new about Mary J. because Mary J. has done that. People said, oh, she talked about Keisha Cole. She never said a word about Keisha Cole. I was like, send me the link she said about Keisha Cole. She just said it was despicable what you did to Keisha Cole. That's all she said. She never stated one thing she did to Keisha Cole. I made the video and told you what she did to Keisha Cole and what happened with Keisha Cole in detail. So I didn't take nothing from no Jaguar. Period. Now, I know from people that have dealt with her, her personality has rubbed people the wrong way. Exactly. Tevin Campbell, his situation. Who didn't know that? You're just not hearing that now about Tevin Campbell? Where have you been? Yeah, some people didn't. Now it's back now. But we all known that from years ago. So that's not new news. Tevin's situation we knew about for years. So it's no surprise to any of us. So my thing is, why is it a surprise right now? You see what I'm saying? This is old news being brought back up in a different way. Now, anybody else, if I'd have said that, y'all been, yeah, what proof you got? What proof she got? If we're going to do it that way, what proof she got? What was her proof about that? I told you about Raven Simone. I told you what happened. I told you what happened on the show and what happened over there in that situation with the other guy that was on the show and Raven. Now, what photos are you talking about? Yeah, all you got to do, look up Casino for Life, type in Raven, and then you'll see that pop up. Put Raven Simone, put it in there, and then you'll see a Truth Behind pop up of Casino. And I've talked about it. Talked about the Disney thing. So it's been spoken on. You just missed it. Tevin Campbell, he was always the way he was. He was hiding his identity. They tried to put him in a situation with Tatiana Ali and try to make it as if they were a couple. Put them in music videos together. It was a whole thing because she was dating Jonathan Brandis. Okay, you guys probably don't remember him. He was on the show called Sequest. He was in a movie with Chuck Norris called Sidekicks. Jonathan Brandis was the new superstar actor and was going to be this thing. He was going crazy on drugs, jealousy, and everything. But that's who she was dating. Jonathan Brandis, not Tevin Campbell. And she was in Tevin Campbell's video, and they were trying to make it like it was a thing. Jonathan Brandis is going to beat up Tevin Campbell. It was a crazy thing, crazy story. But yeah, Jonathan Brandis ended up committing suicide. He was gone, too much drugs, and he ended up taking his own life back in 2003. But people knew back then about Tevin. They just never put that out there to the world. But Tevin has always been that way. But he went down that way even further. You know what I'm saying? So he started hanging with that crowd. You know, the Skittles crew. Started rolling with the Skittle crew crowd once his career was done and that whole industry and what they do. So it's a lot of them that move in those circles. Tevin was never, he was always, he's too young. So all y'all new people here, don't forget to subscribe. Y'all know what time it is. Is Tatiana Ali Chili's sister? I don't think they related at all. We talked about the debate really already on One Crack News, but there's nothing really else to talk about. Did he have a relationship with Berry Gordy? I don't know. He was more closer to Quincy Jones than Berry Gordy. Berry Gordy was probably retired at that point. I guess that's who you meant. Quincy Jones. Because Quincy Jones is the one discovered him and brought him out, got him to work with Prince, put him in Graffiti Bridge because the kid could sing. MCA, they screwed over Jaguar. They screwed her over, but some people told me it was more of her personality and her attitude more than everything else. But she's 100% correct about Mary. I believe her 100%. Mary J. Blige definitely would absorb all of the, she did the same thing to yours truly, Keisha Cole. They was like, Keisha Cole wrote a song, and I said, Mary J. Blige can't stand her. Keisha Cole's a fan of Mary. Mary can give a damn about Keisha Cole. She absorbed all of the budget money at MCA. She probably threatened everybody at MCA, don't you promote that chick's out. She probably did just that. Her being jealous of Beyonce's position because she want to be with Jay-Z. Oh, yeah, of course she would want to be with Jay. But here's the thing. Mary didn't want nothing to do with Jay in the beginning. No. Didn't want no parts of Jay. She wouldn't even appear in his video. Jay-Z's first hit video on his first album, Reasonable Doubt, You Can't Knock the Hustle. Mary wouldn't even appear in the video. She's not in the video. Go watch it. She wanted nothing to do with Jay. Jay was like, all right. You know, like, whatever. They paid me for the song. I did my thing and I'm out. She was not going to be in there. They couldn't pay her budget to be in the video. She was like, I ain't doing it. She was dating Nas. I mean, Mary was sleeping with everybody. Nas was nailing that to the cross. Nas was the guy. Nas is all on her first single on the second album. Love is all we need. Nas fighting with his baby mama because Mary J calling him every night. He riding out with Mary. Live your life, girl. Live your life, Mary. So she didn't care nothing about Jay. She was rolling with Nas. She was rolling with Nas. She didn't roll with Jay till Jay blew up. When Jay blew up, then Mary want to go ride with Jay. That's why Braveheart Party, you can hear it with Mary J. Blige, was on the Stillmatic album, but only if you got the first copies. Mary complained after Jay-Z told her, Mary, how could you do this to me? Mary J. went and got her verse taken off the album, told them, take my verse off the album. I did not get permission. You did. That's why it was out. See, Braveheart Party is not what that record was supposed to be. Them lyrics went to another song that you could probably find on YouTube. You see the song with Nas and AZ, what was that same called on there? The Flyest Gangsters. The original version, there is no AZ. Nas lyrics are the same, except for there's no AZ. That whole verse with him and AZ rapping together is the only thing on there. The Flyest. The Flyest is the Braveheart song. And it got Jungle and Wiz, and they're using the same verses that's from like Braveheart Party. Or some of the lyrics from there, but it's not the lyrics from there. But I like Braveheart Party. It's a jungle type record. But the original version, from the moment I heard it, I said, this don't fit. Because Nas' verse don't fit their verse. Their verses are ruthless. And it just don't fit what the hook, when the Flyers game, they lyrics don't go with none of it. That's what I'm saying. Mary J is what you would call a performing artist. She's not a vocalist. Mary J. Blige is not a vocalist. That's not a bad thing. She's not. Mary can have her moments where she sound pretty good, but she's not going to blow you away. Like I told you, some people that could blow, they don't need a microphone. They don't have to have a special mic to enhance it. They don't have nothing in it. They got what you call the gift. Jaguar has a gift, ladies and gentlemen. That can't be taken away, okay, by what people saying that she can't sing. That she has a gift. That girl can get out there and you grab a microphone and she can go. That you cannot take that away from Jaguar at all. That was never her problem. Her problem is she didn't know how to move in the room with different people. She didn't know how to move in these rooms. That was her problem. Mary was a drunk, so was Jaguar. Jaguar probably drunk more than Mary, to be honest, and she'll probably tell you that. She used to drink a lot. I don't know if she's ever mentioned that, but she probably will. She's from Philly, so she knows the roots. She knows all of them. But look at it. She's throwing shade at like everybody. It's so much shade being thrown. You don't see her really shining a light on anybody. To be honest, if you ain't Jay. Oh, she was into the Chronic, the Dro. She's pretty bitter now but a lot of it is like, look, it's like this. A lot of the situation, like she said, Puffy wouldn't let like Biggie marry Little Kim. Biggie was never finna marry Little Kim. That's her imagination putting these things together. I don't think Jill Scott sounds like Jaguar. Jaguar to me has a different sound. I hear it differently. You might say you think Jill is still in her cadence. It's so many people that think like that when they hit different octaves. I hear Jaguar's voice and it sounds a lot different from Jill. I heard them both live and both are great live. Both are great live. Like Jaguar really can blow. But on her first album, and I invite anybody to go listen to Jaguar's first album. Go listen to it. And tell me if you hear a song on there that just blows you away. That just blows you away and say, oh my God, this was going to sell 1 million records. She had some good records that was like cool for like the hood. Probably would go ghetto go. But nothing that was like, is going to jump off. But she could have, because she had been the superstar they wanted her to be. I doubt it. She don't have the personality to move in the rooms you need to. That even though Alicia Keys can't really sing, J-Lo can't sing at all. And look where she's at because she knows how to move. Jill bit off Jag, and I bet you who said that? Probably Jag. You know, who else would think that? You want to see more naked women on the Patreon? I thought I educate you this month. That's what I said. I was like, we went through all the naked women and naked celebrities and all that and boobs and all that. Let's get to the educational part. I start talking to you about business and talking to you about all this other stuff. So we going on the Patreon, we're going to give you the behind the scenes of this video. So you going all this stuff that was left out and edited out, you're going to have a much clear, concise understanding of why I even did it this way. Because I'm like, this needs to be PG. We're on here. Let's just keep it PG, but she knows. There's a lot of people said she was difficult to work with. Personality, very opinionated. It's not always a bad thing, but sometimes that's not always a good thing either. People think like I'm just keeping it real. Well, sometimes you can keep it real dumb, and just understand you can end up blocking your own blessings. You're probably in a position where other people are looking and really was out to help you, but your distrust and your slick talking in your mouth just got you in a position where people just like, I can't work with you. You're a great person, like great as far as doing some work, but you can't move in the rooms with it. Did I hear about Diddy and Christopher Williams? No. Did Diddy do anything to Kim? She tried to insinuate Diddy had something to do with Kim coming to California, and she had evidence on them, and that's why. I mean, look, Diddy is metrosexual. All that's possible. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. All of the things she said, it's not out of the realm of believability because a lot of people already felt like that about Diddy. But I just talked to a lot of people that actually were signed to Bad Boy, that actually worked with Bad Boy. And we're just going to leave it at that. A lot of people should know what I'm talking about, who I'm talking about. So, and then they were even shocked. They were like, whoa, wow, like that's wow. So they worked there and basically was an artist there. And they were shocked. That just says something to me. My thing is nothing's out of the realm of possibility and believability. It'd be the people you wouldn't even suspect that have done these type of things. Of course, man. The industry, when you had an industry situation, people tell you everything. If you had an industry party and you with the right circle, you'll hear so much stuff you wouldn't even believe. Some of the things she said is true, and a lot of it is her reaching. Like Biggie, like Puffy stopped Big from marrying Little Kim. Big was never gonna marry no Little Kim. Biggie was never gonna marry Little Kim. Where is she getting that from? There was never a chance Biggie was gonna marry Kim. He knew what Kim was when he got with Kim. He made Kim. He was not gonna marry her. She wanted that. She wanted to know why she couldn't be the one. Puff didn't even push Big and Faith together. Big didn't want none of his artists dealing with each other. Puff didn't know Big and Faith was dating. He didn't know about none of that. Puff told Big, hey man, don't mess with my money, man. Come on, Big. That's my artist. Puff didn't like any of it. Them two was fighting each other. He threw them out the office. Sent everybody home. Puff was about work. Getting the job done. He didn't care about his whole thing is just don't mess up my paper. Don't mess this up. Puff, they jumped up and got married in 2 weeks. Puff didn't even know about it. But Puff used it as a genius in marketing idea. Now that they, went up and they dating and married. They did the video, the album cover shoots, and was like you the mob boss, and she's like the queen. This gonna help Faith album. Like that's it. That's all he needed. Puff is thinking we gotta sell the work. So what they keep talking about optics, she always likes to bring that up because that is a corporate word that they use all the time about the optics is different. We have to change the optics on this. It's just different optics we got to look at. No, you mentioned Jaguar. A lot of people go, I like Jag. Like she cool peoples, but they don't like what she doing now. Because let's say even if you were part of that whole situation, you could talk to things as they relate to you. But everybody was against you. That's how you making it sound, and you just bitter. That's what this comes off as. So you have to watch how you say things. Like I'm blowing up the industry. I'm doing this and that. It's like what? You trying to get a reality show? You trying to get a podcast? Like what's the point? I've seen this happen so many times. People didn't do this whole thing and then they ended up spinning it to something else. And I'm not, hey, get your money. If this is how you gotta get your money, get your money. You know what I'm saying? If you just want to be saying it just to be saying it because you hurt, it is what it is. She went through a lot of pain, and just like a lot of other artists out here, she can blow. She really can sing. She's very talented, but she just could not move in the rooms like everybody else. Don't forget, man, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to subscribe to the page. Hit that notification bell, because when we start doing these chats, we want to hear from y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to make sure y'all here. And yes, if you go on the Patreon, the link for the Patreon is in my description box. And to everybody else who want to support the page, my Cash App is Carceno, Carceno. That's what's up. Why not help her in that matter? She doesn't need help in that matter. She's on somebody else's like podcast platform with some other guy. I forgot. I don't know his name. I'm not dissing him, but he's a little out there. And they do their little show, and then he be doing dances like this and stuff, and I'm like, and he's popping a belt or something. I don't know his name, but that's like the show she's on all the time. He be doing some weird stuff, man. Storm Monroe, yeah. So that she don't need my help. I mean, to me, if you want anything, get rid of him. That's the best help I could give you. Get rid of him and get somebody else that knows something. I mean, she's liking all this attention now. It's like all this is coming back. So it feels like, okay, what is this about? What is the end game? What's the big move here? You mean Charlie Baltimore? Let me tell you about Big. Big was someone who didn't like his own. He was another person who did not like himself. He did not like his complexion. He had a whole issue with dark skinned women and dark skinned people. And I've seen that happen a lot. because of television and movies and everything else, they started to not like their own skin. So once he became famous, dark skinned women was out. He didn't want to date, he didn't want Lil Kim no more. He didn't want to be seen in public with Lil Kim. He thought people like Faith and anybody lighter, that was what he wanted. That was what he wanted. He thought that was beautiful, and anything dark was considered ugly. And that's why he embraced it. I'm black and ugly as ever. Yeah. So he thought I know I'm ugly, but I'm gonna be fly. And Charlie Baltimore was some skinny rail looking thing, and but she was hood and she could write and she could rap and she was Philly all the way, and she was good, but she was so light, and everybody had to have her, big fixed up, and that's mine. And he was like, I know she's with me because I'm Biggie. If I was broke, she'll walk right past me, but it is what it is. So that's just how he felt. So if you knew that, you knew Biggie was never finna marry no Little Kim. But see, you have to know Big in order to know that about him. Let's see what this is before I move. Yeah. Now, I know my cousin hit me with that line. Like, dog, you don't like her just because you got a red bone fetish. I'm like, what? And I thought about it. I had dated a whole string of red bone girls. So I see how it all processed in his head. Biggie was not about to marry no Lil Kim. He's never gonna marry Kim. She loved him the most because she loyal. But that's not how I did. That's not how I did it. I'm like, I dated dark skinned women before. So it didn't even make sense when I heard that. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, folks. It's free. Kim's more loyal than Faith. Absolutely. Absolutely. Faith wasn't loyal. She was sleeping with Stevie J even when she was with Big. Why you think they together now? I mean, she had every right to go in on Mary because Mary did kind of like sabotage her thing, but a lot of people didn't like her attitude. To be real, that's what a lot of people told me. Like, hey, she just had an attitude problem. Like outside of singing, she didn't really gel with a lot of people, and it was not. It was a lot of people who was there that didn't get along with her. They probably took her attitude the wrong way. You know, is it a mental health issue she probably has? She probably have a lot of anxiety, a lot of not distrust. You in a whole different business, man. You got to think about it. She lost a son. Her son was taken out by his father. You know what I'm saying? That's dark. I mean, that's a lot of pain in your heart. And to be able to go through something like that and then be on the internet and talking to people, I would be messed up probably for life behind something like that. Like I said, No. She stood up for what was right. Not really. It's not what y'all think. Like I said, we gonna do on the Patreon today at probably midnight after the Laker game. We gonna do a video uncut version of this, the uncut version, and that's gonna be on the Patreon. So you guys will be, the blanks will be filled in over there. Remember, we gotta keep this kind of in the PG frame. But I'm just saying, she was no angel too. Let's just say that. Jaguar was no angel. Oh yeah, the Casino for Life Patreon is on fire. You ain't lying about that. Oh, I told you on the first, it's a lot coming down on the first. Just get ready. Because you're gonna be holding your head all day on October the 1st. Yes, sir. Jag is on drugs. Her being on drugs, I don't know. All I know is she smoked a lot and she used to drink a lot. That's that I can tell you about. She admitted to that. I'm like, yeah, she probably did admit to it. So it's a lot of things going on, man, that she probably didn't admit to. Hey, look at that. Is that the real Chris Harjon or is this the fake one? Yep. I don't know how many of y'all play PS4, but he just opened up a channel now. He's gonna be playing PS4 games in there, and you guys can watch him. It's called Just Chris Gaming. So I don't know if he's live now. Are you live now? Just Chris Gaming on YouTube. What game? Are you playing a game now live? Oh, he's gonna be doing one later. Okay, so well, you guys can subscribe to it. It's Just Chris Gaming. It's some guy with like some gaming guy with like two rifles in his hand on the PS5. He got the PS5. We both went and copped the PS5 together. So all 840 of you can sign up. He would really appreciate it. I don't want to talk about the Cubs game. Oh, thanks, Jay. Right, I'm not bitter about it at all. She's lying. No, she's not lying. Jaguar is telling you events and things that happen and And it's a lot of dirty things that happened behind the scenes, and a lot of it was done based on her personality and attitude, and some of it was done by jealousy. Mary J. Blige jealousy of her, definitely. Did Mary J. like her? No. Mary J. didn't like a lot of women artists. She felt like this is my spot, and I have to protect it. So that's what she was going to do to protect it. 100%. I mean, you don't understand. When Angie Stone came out, you're talking about in the 70s and 80s. I'm talking about when she got with Clive and redid her. She had a spot where she was just doing cover songs, background singing and all this stuff. She didn't really blow until she got with and start making gold albums and stuff like that when she got with Clive. And that didn't happen till later in her career. That's what I mean. People understand what I mean. Like Angie, she just put out an album last year. Angie Stone has consistently put out albums. She's continuously making music. People who deal with her in the neo soul and they love Angie. Alicia Keys ain't doing that. No, Jag is talented now. If it's coming down to talent, Jaguar is more talented as a vocalist than Mary J. She's definitely more talented as a vocalist, probably as a pianist, than Alicia Keys. But would she have been successful like Alicia and Mary? No. That's what I'm saying. Talent is just a portion of it. Look at LeBron James. LeBron James is a bum. LeBron James is not talented at all in none of these facets. He can't shoot. He dribbles like he's dribbling with his fist, dribbling the ball with his fist. He has no basketball structure whatsoever. But the players that do have all these abilities may never be as big as him because he knows how to sell it. He's a personality. He loves the camera. He loves to get in there. He'll be butt naked on Instagram, shaking his booty. That's what he is. He's a circus clown. He knows how to sell the product. Other people know how to play the game. So the thing is, Alicia Keys, Mary, those are the LeBron James of it. They're great artists. Okay, they can pull it off. They can pull off the look. They can pull off the image. And all they have to do is be a portion of what that is. They can sing good enough just to get by. Like, it would drive a vocalist insane. Like, Whitney Houston was insane with Paula Abdul singing off key for her whole album. Nobody paid any attention to it, but a singer, a vocalist would notice that and be irritated by it. She sung off key her whole album. You saw Whitney going off because Whitney's like, I can't believe y'all bought that. This woman sung off key her entire album and nobody said a word. Because not everybody went to music school. Not me. I go insane when I hear a rapper rapping off key. And he's like, oh, that's his style. When Royce was doing that, I'm like, he's the worst rapper in the world. Why does he keep rapping off the beat? He's rapping. Does he hear the beat that's playing? Save my energy for the StreamYard tonight. Oh, I got a lot of energy. Y'all should know that. I'm born and blessed with energy. I'm ready to rumble. Oh, that's the man that made that crazy video about me. Juvie did see it off key on her. No, that was just it worked when he did it. I mean, because he wasn't really rapping, he was just talking. No, but that's what I'm saying. No, Ticket could have. I already answered that in the video. Ticket could have been told that they could give you misleading information because they want to give you misdirection. They'll give you and feed you what the whole people saying on social media, just so you don't see what they really doing. They did that with Kawhi going to the Lakers. They fed us the information of Kawhi going to the Lakers. So I'm like, I heard it like they heard it. So when he went to the Clippers, all the experts was like, whoa, wait a minute, what is this? They manipulated the public and the press on purpose. They did that. So they did it. It wasn't like, see, y'all was wrong. It was like, no, they gave us that. He said, I'm a scout for the Phoenix Suns. I never heard a word about Phil. Phil's not coming in. I mean, my source, people know a lot of my sources. And one of my sources, and when two of them say the same thing, I'm riding with him. One of them is my cousin. So in case you didn't know and you just got here, my cousin, we cousins with Draymond. He's married to his father's married to our cousin. That's how that works. So they got kids together, Draymond brothers and sisters. We all family. So I'm just gonna say that. So you should know one of my cousins, and they know each other. My cousin already was plugged anyway, so through the business, and he's in the Bay Area. He's in Cali. Y'all already know him. Y'all been on his Instagram. I told you. That's one scout. I have another scout that's inside the bubble. He knows, and he knows what's happening outside the bubble. And I can't even tell you how we know that one. But he has almost never been wrong except for the Kawhi to the Laker thing. He was telling us that too. Oh, you hooped against him when y'all was in Purdue? Or you was at Purdue? All right, cool. You out here in the Midwest. My cousin, she goes to Purdue. No, they like LeBron. He got a picture with LeBron too. Told you, you can go to Cuz page. You want to go look it up? It's Dante Davis on Instagram. Go check him out. My last name Davis, his last name Davis. We them Davis boys. Go check it out. No, I don't believe Common assaulted her at all. I think they were dating, and they were dating at the time. They were actually kicking it at a point, and he was trying to get into a situation. Trying to kick a situation off, and she was like, I ain't doing that. I'm drinking right now. But she trying to turn it into a situation because there's some other things we're gonna talk about. That's gonna be in the Patreon too. We bringing that up too. But there's a lot of stuff you didn't know about that's gonna be in the Patreon that we didn't discuss here. You probably knew about it, but it's always gonna be that one. So it's in the VIP Patreon only. This is VIP Patreon material. I mean, she's crazy. Most talented people are crazy. They got something that's different from them. But she always felt she was better than everybody. And she showed that. And people kind of felt that from her. Like she felt like she was better than them. And it's like, and when you come off, you might be better than them, but if you give the impression that you're so much better than them, like, oh my God, and you basically dogging them to people that they know, and they like, man, so she was just dogging you. And you got to watch that. You got to know how to move in these other rooms. And she didn't know how to do that. And she was basically dogging people behind their back, and basically would do it to their face. And she thought she was better than all of them. Okay, here's this t-shirt person saying that's a lie. Okay. Hey, I can only tell you what was told to me. She didn't get along with a lot of people. She was hard to get along with, what they call difficult to work with. Tisha, either one, you off base. Look, our people know comment. The people that I hang with, when y'all see me going to the frat brother's house, they know him. That's where he grew up. That house is over there. Sean them knew him from 87. They know how calm is and everything else. But we'll go into all of that, all of it, once we get into the situation we're going to get into. Tisha, no one has shut anybody down. Tisha, nobody shut anybody down. You probably just got here late. If I tell you somebody is very talented, but they just have personality problems, they don't move in the room the way they probably should have, this is probably the reasons why. I know Jaguar Wright. She can sing. She's very talented. A lot of the things she said, a lot of it is truth mixed in with a reach. And this is her promotional tour for either a podcast or CD where she not was going to get marketed. A lot of people didn't want to work with her. She had a lot of attitude problems. Mary J. Blige did absorb the budget at MCA and was like, you're not going to spend my money on her. But a lot of that was her own doing too, because she rubbed some people the wrong way. She talked down and bad about a lot of people. And when you're speaking to these little people, most of these guys are minions. They suck up the people for a living. They're not on your side. They're going to go run back and tell somebody else what you said. And that's how it works in this industry. So you got to know the people you're talking to. And she got drunk. She smoked a lot. She was always very loose and the way she is now, she was even more when she was drinking. So she was a fun person to be around and all that, but to get to the level of mega superstar, like Jay knows talent when he sees it. He wanted to work with her. But you see, there's a reason why she wasn't there. Because the way you put it out there made it look like I was wrong. I was like, what? Phil ain't coming back. Okay, well, I got to get ready for the Laker game and do all the stuff I'm going to do here. And I am going to definitely tell y'all to subscribe to the Patreon, because after that Laker game, y'all going to see it. What's up, Drewski? Then we can get into the uncut version of this. And then you'll be able to know why this was so nicely done for the person think we're just smashing her into the ground, which we're not. I got big money on the Heat tonight. All right. Should I do a live stream on the Patreon tonight? It might be too late.